You wouldn't believe what happened to Daniel on his first trip in 2020 when you're here for 3 weeks. So, well, a little preview, basically.
You're gonna go. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
All right, Daniel, so you were telling me this story, and I have to say I've heard about everything here, but this is one that I haven't heard.
Wow, it's a lot coming from you.
I've heard a lot, but yeah, this one's new, and I've heard of girls faking, like being in the hospital to get money and things like that. But so you were telling me you're born again Christian. You were looking for someone who was similar, born again Christian.
I decided in the summer of 2019, right after I had my 40th birthday, that I would go online and try to make the effort to find a future partner in Philippines. Hopefully leading to a commitment prior to my arrival. I mean, that was really the thinking process, which is a really quality site for the most part, with real people. A lot of the girls that I saw there were on the conservative side, or they're very normal as far as, compared to other sites. I see a lot of Western influence with makeup and tattoos and colored hair and all this stuff. You don't really see that too much, if at all, really, on this site. So I felt like I was getting a real authentic type of Filipina girl from the province that I was, kind of desiring for that level of commitment. So with that being said, after my birthday in 2019, I started a profile, and I shortly matched with someone that showed a lot of interest in me, from Davao.
From Davao, Mindanao,
Yep. And at the time, she claimed to have similar beliefs with, being a Christian. She owned her own home. She had a Toyota car.
Wow.
She owned her own business. And really, I guess, saw what I saw in her. She saw in me this level of appreciation for, being an independent, successful adult. And I was like, wow, I didn't expect, that much of an equal on those levels. So it sparked my interest. And we chatted for several months, about 7, I think, up until January. I left the States, I think, on the 5th. I arrived on the 6th, but we talked up until that time pretty frequently. And even though we lacked, a commitment in the title of boyfriend-girlfriend, we had a level of interest and intentions to meet and travel together. She had the money and the time to go away for a couple weeks with me, to travel.
How old was she?
I think she was 28 at the time.
Okay, that's a good age.
Yeah, 28 at the time, and that would make me 40. So I was 40 after my 40th birthday. So we planned a little bit of the trip and some places we were going to go. Within, I would say, the 2 days prior to me packing up and moving to going to the airport, I know we had a 12-hour difference, so I kind of thought that may have been the reason why I didn't really hear much from her within the the last 24 to 36 hours prior to my departure. So I got a little worried. My family brought me to the airport in Tampa. I flew to Boston, and I had a 6-hour layover until about 12:30 a.m. that night to fly out. My next destination was Hong Kong. That flight was scheduled for 15 and a half hours one way.
By the way, guys, this video is brought to you by Veritas Consulting Group. If you are considering getting married in the Philippines, don't forget a prenup. Contact Veritas Consulting Group today at vcg.ph. Again, if you're thinking about getting married in the Philippines, consider a prenup. Contact Veritas Consulting Group at vcg.ph.
So after I grabbed some dinner and made it to the terminal, I checked her social media and tried to message her on several different sites, Skype and Facebook, etc. And I noticed that she didn't check or see any of my previous messages within the last day and a half or so. So I was kind of getting a little worried. I'm not somebody who assumes or speculates too much, but I'm pretty observant and saying to myself, she's been very, communicative for a long time,
Right.
Did she get cold feet or,
Right.
is her phone broken or something? I had booked a resort for 3 nights in Cebu City with the idea that she would fly from Davao to Cebu, sleep the first night by herself since my flight came out at 11 a.m. the next morning, and out of convenience for her.
Right.
And then have some downtime and, rest time for me after 2 days of travel, and maybe, go around the city a little bit till we kind of cast off for this adventure, right?
So you really were kind of catering the trip a little bit around her.
Quite
right?
a bit. I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't, have like intentions for girls in general or even really anybody else. I had idea that we would make a connection and maybe it would become something, but really
Sure.
it was companionship for this trip, and then open-ended of wherever it grew.
Right, right.
Based on how we met. We didn't want to label ourselves or put a title until we met. We both kind of made that mature decision, so it wasn't that prior to my arrival. But again, it was still level of interest and care for this person after so many months of communication.
Right.
You build rapport and they're get a place in your life when you're sharing your time and attention with them.
Yeah.
So long story short, I'm in the terminal and I go to her Facebook and there's a recent uploaded picture of a Toyota, and I know she owns one,
Yep.
completely demolished on the front.
Wow.
Like bare engine, hood rolled up, windshield shattered. Like nobody survived this.
Wow.
Like,
Just.
and I've been in the
totally
car industry selling Toyotas
Yeah.
at that time. I literally
Wow.
worked for Toyota in Florida for a big outfit, and I was shocked. I commented on the photo, whose car is this? And the person profile who posted it replied to my comment and said, this is Jen's car. I said, where's Jen? And they replied back, she passed away in a car accident 2 days ago.
Oh crap. Okay.
Well, I mean, I was devastated.
Yeah.
I got emotional. I called my parents on video chat immediately. They had met her previously,
Well, they had met her online.
on video chat
video.
because they wanted to know who I was meeting, and she
Sure,
wanted
yeah.
to assure them of my safety and who I was going to be with, as well, out of respect, for my
Yeah.
family too, since I'm the traveling person.
Right.
And they were upset. They were emotional.
Sure.
They don't know the girl, but I mean the situation of it, and me, ready to jump on a plane, and for 15 and a half hours, I was beside myself. I actually called one of my American friends that was on his way to Manila for his vacation, and I said, I don't know if I'm going to get on this plane, man. And he said, Daniel, I don't want to sound cold-hearted, but maybe it wasn't meant to be, or maybe you'll find the right girl, or maybe whatever, this is supposed to happen. But I know you, and I know how much love you had for the Philippines, and you've spent so much time and effort, 15 years coming from 05 to 2020. You got to get on that plane. Do not fly home, or you're going to have regret.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I had to take a while to think about it because I wasn't sure if I was going to just turn tail and go back. But I realized that she was part of the plan. She wasn't the whole plan. And I would have regret. And
Sure.
I thought about the bigger picture of, this experience for my life, because this is the first time I was out of the country, and I'm flying about as far away as you can go from Florida until you're coming back the other side of the globe, man. I mean, it's
yeah.
really
Yeah.
on the other side of planet Earth.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, for sure.
So I made a decision emotionally, and I followed everybody onto the plane. I didn't sleep that well. I was very restless, and I had 15 and a half hours to think about it. Well, before I got off the plane, it was a jumbo jet, so there was 3 or 4 seats in the middle row. There was a Filipino guy about 1 or 2 rows back, and he saw me on the map zooming in the Philippines and kind of looking around and playing with the map, and he said, hey, bro, are you getting off to go to Cebu? I'm like, I am. He goes, let's get off in Hong Kong together, grab some food. Cool, man. I made a friend. I needed an uplift. We got off together. We connected to the Wi-Fi, grabbed some soup over there in the airport, and I messaged some other friends that I had, and they sent their nephew with plans to meet me the following morning.
Okay.
So I get on the plane with him. I fly in the morning, and I mean, I am just beside myself. I'm looking over. The guys next to me trying to see out the window, and right before we land, I'm getting, all these butterflies. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm here,
Yeah.
And I got picked up, and the first place I went was Jollibee, man. I took about 5 people out to Jollibee for less than $20 US, and we left with food. That was a great experience.
You don't hear
Those
too many.
days.
You don't hear too many Italians say, "I love to go to Jollibee."
Well, I did it just because it's the Filipino thing to do,
Yeah,
and
you
it was
gotta
kind
try
of a joke to go there first.
For sure.
And treat them because they never say no to Jollibee. And then the next place was the mall to get my SIM card and my load.
Okay.
So I checked into the hotel, and after about 2 hours, my body started shutting down. I was exhausted
Jet
from the
lag.
trip. I gave myself so much stress and anxiety over,
Yeah.
wondering what happened on a plane, not able to communicate with anybody. Obviously, Wi-Fi is not available for 15 and a half hours on a Chinese plane,
Right.
And I get a call on the hotel phone, which startled me.
Yeah.
Guys, this is the first time I'm out of the country. I'm in a third world country. I'm the farthest way I can be away from my family. And I answer the phone, and they said, "Sir, you have a phone call down in the lobby." I said, "Okay, come down." So I took the elevator down, and I walk up to the front desk. I'm like, "You have a phone call for me?" "Oh, she said she'll call back, sir." And I'm still dumbfounded. I'm like, "Who?" And they literally said, "Some woman."
Okay.
I'm like, it's my mom wants to call me. She can call me on Facebook. I don't
Right,
really know
right,
who
right.
this is. And I'm super curious. Like,
Yeah.
so
Interesting.
at this point, when I did check in before this interaction, I asked if she reported or called or checked in, and they said no. And I had to share with them that this person is dead. I mean, she's deceased, and that's why she didn't check in last night, after I prepaid for 3 nights.
Right.
The phone rang like 2 minutes later. And it was a corded phone. He reached across the desk, and I answered, and I heard somebody say, "Hello, it's me," and it was the girl,
Wow. Okay.
the dead one.
Supposedly dead. Yeah.
Spooky.
So what'd you think? Or
She stopped me dead in my tracks and said,
Yeah.
"Listen, I opened up another Facebook profile with my picture, and I explained everything. I have to go," and hung up. More spooky. So I go up to my room, I get on my Wi-Fi, and I see the little request notification in the top left corner of your messenger
Yeah.
that says somebody's trying to send you a message.
Yeah.
And it was one of her photos. So I clicked on it, and she has this whole story. This is what she
Okay.
tells me. She said, "I've been a Christian for 13 years, and my mother has been a Christian for 13 years, but my dad is
Okay.
Muslim. 2 days ago, I went to my parents' house because I needed to give the keys to my house to my sister. I have dogs, I have things that need to be taken care of while I'm with you. My parents' father,
Right.
mostly, overheard me saying that I was going to meet a Christian boy flying from America to take me on vacation, and quickly took the keys to my car, took my phone, and ripped my plane ticket in front of me.
Wow.
And I've been stranded here for the last 2 days. Right now, I'm messaging you on the phone from my maid because I am stuck in a bedroom."
Wow.
I replied back, "You lost me at Muslim.
Yeah.
If there's any other race on the planet that is equivalent or a stronger sense of family, it would probably be Italians. So if I don't qualify, or I'm not approved or accepted by your Filipino parents, then we probably won't have a relationship."
Yeah. And you, even your safety, you don't know what the father.
That's where it
Right.
finally started to grow.
Right,
It
right.
went into kind of a DEFCON 5 for my family.
So the father basically faked her death just to get rid of you.
create separation.
Yeah.
and did it in a very gory way. To think about his daughter being, and on top of that, they sent me photos of her laying down with a surgical mask on. This is before pandemic. This is back in 2020.
How did they get her to do that?
Somehow they had photos of her getting her eyelashes done with a mask on, laying on her back, because there was no scratches or anything. I'm in a state of panic, so I didn't really analyze the fact that she wasn't bloody and bruised, But my sister does lashes, so she's like, what's up with this girl? She decides to message her, get information, threaten her.
Oh boy.
Because she's trying to defend me. My cousin's calling me, you got to get out of there. There's things about these people in this certain area, that are known for this. And I know a little bit. That's why I really kind of didn't go to Mindanao, because I don't know which places are.
Sure.
I mean, I do now, 3 years later, but at that time, I'm brand new. This is like first couple of hours in the country.
Right.
I'm freaking out. And I don't know who's going to push through the door. So I went down to the lobby and I said, do not let anybody up to my room. Please do not let anybody in this hotel that is not cleared right now, because this is my situation.
Okay.
I went back up to my room and I attempted to pack, and my body just wouldn't let me. I kept nodding off, and I thought about the physical energy and exertion I'm going to need to get up, go out, get a taxi, go somewhere else, navigate, check in somewhere else, and then even trust the taxi driver. I'm freaked out. I don't know who's going to rob me at this point. I'm just like freaked out. So I had to just give in to nature and sleep there that night, and it wasn't a good experience at all. I woke up the next morning and I got on the internet and I found a rental car company that would deliver a car to the actual front door of the hotel. And I threw my bags in the back and took off, and another super scary thing happened.
Oh, now what?
I found myself in Cebu traffic driving a car.
Yeah, that could be
as
true.
A foreigner.
Yeah, guess it takes some getting used to, for sure. Yeah.
Big mistake. I've been driving since I'm 13 years old, okay? At this time, I'm 40.
Right.
I was at 10 and 2 freaking out. Like,
yeah.
Somebody's going to hit me. I'm going to hit them. Oh, my gosh, I'm going to go to jail. I called my friend, and he screamed at me, Daniel, foreigners don't drive cars in Philippines, especially the city. Bring that car right back. I mean, everybody was, like, against it. But, us, we got to have our wheels, man. I mean, Sarasota doesn't have public transportation like that, and even the other cities I lived in, you can't just jump on a motorcycle or what you have here. It's not like that.
You get a whole new experience in the Philippines if you have your own wheels to be able to get around. It's a whole different experience that you get to have.
Which is why the next morning I got here in May, I went and got that motorcycle, and she's been with me ever since, because it's a sense of independence and freedom, but also security for definitely when you have a strategy, and a plan to move around. I mean, you see all the stuff, here as far as the roads and the bridges and everything. I mean, it's a challenge. It really is. You don't see that pretty much on YouTube. You really don't. People don't show, the canceled flights and the late ferries and all the broken stuff and everything. It's really challenging, guys. You really have to come out here with a extreme amount of determination and really a passion for what you're doing. If you're going to go 1 or 2 places or 3 or whatever and stay at a destination, you could make a leisure vacation out of it. But to do what I'm doing with that many ferries and that many islands in a short amount of time, I mean, you have to roll with the punches, man. And I've definitely took my lumps.
Yeah. To end it, we'll tie back into your what happened. But another thing that happens here is a lot of Filipinos will get cold feet, or they will just kind of flake out. They don't decide not to meet you. That's happened to me several places where I had been maybe writing a girl for a while, and okay, I'm here, I'm in Davao, let's meet, and they're like just ghosted me or just never showed up or whatever. And
we can only speculate completely, that thinking. I think a big priority for them is attention over actual genuine connection and meeting someone, because they like to say that we're, there's a level of intimidation from us because of
Right.
our stature, and we're mature men, and there is a lot on the line for them with potential opportunity, and
Sure.
some people don't just rise to the challenge and take that. I heard from her later on in my trip, begging me to meet her and give her a chance, and I continued to decline. She
Yeah.
knew my flight plan, so she knew when I was going home too. I ditched the last night at the hotel, so I paid a little over $9,000 for one night. I could have stayed at a place like this, but yeah, because it was 3 nights, but I really only was there one night. And I just continued to decline. She did a full court press the last 4 days, because she knew when I was leaving, and I said, listen, with all honesty, I just can't do it. I don't see an opportunity there. If they're going to try this hard to separate us, I'm never going to be able to gain their approval. I'm just going to move on and go home. And it is what it is. And I really didn't make a connection with anybody during that time. And obviously, pandemic put 3.5 years of space between that visit and now.
Right.
So
right.
I've
Obviously moved
tried
on.
again.
Yep.
Quite a bit, but I decided shortly before I got here, if I wasn't going to find somebody with the real serious level of commitment, my focus really was to fall deeper in love with Philippines and really travel this place to see if it's the right future for me.
Well, interesting story, and I'll end it by saying I also once dated a girl in Davao. Went on 2 dates with her. She's a fantastic girl, and I guess she was from a Muslim region working in Davao. She was in her mid-20s, I want to say, but she had told me, I think it was like the end of their second meeting or maybe the third, she said, there's something I need to tell you, my family's Muslim. And I'm like, sorry, it's just not gonna work. It's just the parents aren't gonna approve, and it's just unless I become Muslim, which wasn't an option. So
Did you consider it?
no, I had to change to do something so drastically for somebody else. Just doesn't make sense to me. So
Yep.
anyway,
I understand. Well,
good
thank
story.
you, man. I appreciate the opportunity,
Hey.
to meet you in person, and
No
I
problem.
really admired your work. You've been a wealth
Appreciate
of
it.
information. Me and my family have enjoyed your videos on my 65-inch TV back at home.
Oh, God.
Now I just watch you on my little phone, but
I'm much better on the phone, I think.
wide angles. But yeah, you really are, kind of spearheading my level of interest and my knowledge here as well. You're 7 years, almost 7 years now. December, you said.
December I'll be here 7 years.
Yeah. So wealth of information for him. If you guys are first time seeing his channel, tune in, man. He's got now 900. I think you're on about 900 plus videos now. I think I checked it today, man.
I
Doesn't
think
even
so.
know. So
I don't
many
even
videos.
know. I just keep making them.
doing his thing, man.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it. Thank you
Hey.
so much. I appreciate it.
No problem, Daniel.
Yeah, just wanna show my adventure, but also kind of my journey to the world as well. This is a long time coming, and hopefully it's the beginning of something amazing of my life, and I can share that along with the channel we have.
And channel name again?
It's going to be Daniel James 2.0 at Daniel James TV. I'm going to do my best to give you guys real good footage, and quite frequently. And when I live here in the future, it's definitely going to be very, very good. So
Very good.
I'll do
Link
that.
is in the description. Thank you guys. See
thank
ya.
you guys. Appreciate you.